and welcome to this week's edition of Marquette in Motion. We're your hosts, Hallie Kilberg
and Miranda Peters.
On today's show, we'll be informing you on the recent Skype session between Marquette students and a Milwaukee inner-city high school,
providing free advice in You Ask, We Answer,
filling you in on all the details in the Fighting Saints presentation recently held at Marquette,
giving you all the sports and updates,
and interviewing Mr. Hollinsby, Marquette's high school social studies teacher, about the recent mock election that took place on Tuesday at Marquette, coinciding with the real election.
But first, we have conducted a survey of our own, asking teachers and students, do you Skype or FaceTime regularly, and if so, with whom and why?
For those of you who don't know, Skype and FaceTime are online video chat programs that use a webcam. It's like having a conversation with someone face-to-face through a computer.
And students are very involved with this recent technology.
Students use this to talk face-to-face with cousins in different states,
talk to friends outside of school to fully catch up regardless of whether they go to Marquette or a different school.
Or personally, I use it to talk to my siblings in Cedar Falls, and you may remember them, former reporters Grant and Lauren Kilberg.
Bottom line, it's the new way to stay connected. Here to tell us more about that is Catherine Heimbuck.
Have you ever Skyped? Skype is an online app that allows you, with a webcam, to talk face-to-face. Last week, the seniors at Marquette got to Skype with Mesmer High School's honors government class. What is the significance of Mesmer, you may ask? Mesmer is a school in Milwaukee that Mr. Kaiser used to be principal at, and he still knows many of the students and teachers by name. This Skype experience, which was held Wednesday, November 2nd in Mr. Hollinsby's room, had two main points. First, to learn the differences and similarities between the schools and student life, and second, to discuss political activities and both schools' views on them. Our very own Sam Peters and Jonathan Herrig participated in this experience. Anything to add, guys?
Overall, I think it was a great experience where two different student bodies got to experience each other's lifestyle for a bit and learn more about just kind of the overall views of government and politics, and also how they viewed going to school and their classes.
We asked questions ranging from their daily life in the city to their political views and stuff like that, so that we can see from their point of view and where they live what they think on those topics.
In turn, they were also able to ask us those very same questions, and we had the chance to respond alike.
Thanks, guys. Mr. Kaiser said, it is always nice to be reacquainted and to be able to see how the students from Mesmer have moved on with their lives, much like watching Marquette students grow. I, along with all the other students here at Marquette, are so happy and lucky to have such great classroom experiences and feel so blessed to have such a caring and fun principal like Mr. Kaiser. For Marquette in Motion, this has been Catherine Heimbuck. Stay tuned. More Marquette in Motion on the way.
Welcome back to Marquette in Motion. Here to answer more advice-related questions are Sam Peters and Jonathan Herrig.
Are you ready, wise guys?
Oh, yeah.
I think so.
All right, question 1 reads, the recent election happened, and I don't agree with the new president. Can you give me any positives?
I think one of the positives is that maybe the country hasn't dissolved into chaos, and the presidential candidate that lost had a nice concession speech, and she advocated for unity, so I am just glad that the election went over peacefully.
And the second question says, I'm planning on going to the fall play, but I noticed that the MEC doors are blocked off. How should I get into the gym?
I think they will most likely have people come through the high school entrance on Franklin Street, where we come in for school.
And finally, I heard tonight at the play there's going to be a rubber chicken involved. Is that true? And if so, why?
The rubber chicken, that's sort of a Marquette tradition to have that appear during a Saturday night performance in all of our productions, and I have no idea how far that dates back to, but as long as I can remember, when my sister was in the productions. But it will be making an appearance. I will not tell you when, but you'll just have to come and see for yourself.
And since we have a little extra time today, how about we give the listeners a sneak peek of tonight? Can you describe your characters in the play for us?
Well, I actually play in two scenes. So my first character is named East, and he's a repairman. and he stumbles across this lady who is trying to see the northern lights, and she's a hiker, and she is in his yard late at night, and so my character in my first scene is dealing with that predicament. In my second scene, my name is Dave, and my friend and I just got done snowmobiling, and I would like to have the relationship go further and us start dating, but she doesn't really want to, or doesn't know how to, and so we get over that predicament too.
I also have two parts in this play. I play a guy named Jimmy who stumbles upon his ex-girlfriend that he dated like a year or so back, and she is not very happy to see him, but he is just ecstatic, and it's just really awkward and really funny. And might I add, that part is played by our very own Miranda Peters. I also play a guy named Lendl, and the scene takes place at his house, and his girlfriend of 11 years knocks on his door and asks him to return the love that she gave him, and then they start and get into a big fight, and I will leave it up to you to come to the performance to see whether or not they break up or stay together.
So as you can see, this play is full of scenes that are romantic but also comedic, and it's a great play that you should come out and watch for the final night.
Thanks, guys. I can say that with 2 shows done, it's been a hit with scenes including breakups, ironing boards, and even ice skating. Now let's skate on over to Justina Denlinger, talking to us about the Dubuque Fighting Saints hockey team.
On Wednesday, November 9th, some representatives from the Dubuque Fighting Saints visited Marquette Catholic. 2 separate assemblies were held, one for grades kindergarten through 5th and another for students in grades 6th through 8th. 2 players, 1 coach, a team leader, and Bernie, the lovable St. Bernard mascot, taught students not only about ice hockey, but also how to live like a saint. Their talk focused on developing one's character through kindness, respect, responsibility, citizenship, empathy, perseverance, and cooperation. To coincide with the visit, the Marquette family has also been invited to attend the Fighting Saints game in Dubuque for a reduced rate. The annual night out to watch the Dubuque Fighting Saints and to hear some of the Marquette High School students sing the national anthem will be November 25th at 7:35 p.m. If you are interested in buying some tickets, please call the high school office at 872-3356 to order tickets for the discounted price of just $10. For Marquette in Motion, this has been Justina Denlinger. Stay tuned, we'll be right back after these messages. Welcome back to Marquette in Motion. Here to give us all the sports and updates are Sam Peters and Jonathan Herrig.
Thanks, Miranda. Today the Marquette Quiz Bowl team is participating in their first meet of the year, held at Easton Valley. Quiz Bowl is a scholastic competition where teams of 4 to 6 compete and try to answer questions correctly before the opposing team. The questions range from history, literature, science, math, and even current events. As an example, here's a typical question. This is for you, John. Which U.S. cultural icon represented the American women who worked in factories producing ammunition and war supplies during World War II?
Well, I remember seeing the poster. We have a poster in school of her, and I believe her name is Rosie the Riveter.
Great job. I guess that's why you're on the team, isn't it?
I suppose so. Also, tonight is the last night for you to be able to see Marquette's fall play, Almost Maine, which will be starting at 7 o'clock tonight. And don't forget about Marquette's annual chicken dinner, which will be taking place tomorrow from 11 to 1:30.
Lastly, we would like to congratulate Tori Mickle on her outstanding performance at the state swimming meet. Tori placed 3rd in the 200 individual medley, 5th in the 100 backstroke, 7th in the 400 free relay, and 13th in the 200 medley relay. Great job, Tori. For Marquette in Motion, this has been Sam Peters.
And Jonathan Herrig with your Marquette Sports and Updates report.
Thanks for the report, guys.
Up next, interviewing Mr. Hollinsby will be Brooklyn Moore and Kelsey Gerlach.
Hello everyone, I'm Brooklyn Moore. And I'm Kelsey Gerlach with Tell Us More. And today we'll be interviewing Mr. Hollinsby.
So, Mr. Hollinsby, what is your position here at Marquette Catholic?
I am the high school social studies teacher, and in addition to that, I coach track, baseball, and quiz bowl.
What specific classes do you teach?
I teach a variety of social studies classes, but this semester I'm teaching world studies, American history, U.S. government, Western civilization, and 20th century multimedia.
So you mentioned that you teach government. With the elections happening this past week, you must have kept busy. What did you and your government classes do?
Well, obviously there's been a lot in the news and out around our country that our students need to pay attention to, issues and candidates to get informed on and make decisions on. So since August, really our main focus in government class has been becoming informed on what candidates are out there at both the local, state, and national level, what issues are important to us here at Marquette or here in Bellevue. And over the last week or two, the senior government students organized a mock election in which all students from kindergarten through 12th grade cast their vote. And within that, they did a lot of wonderful work informing the students, giving presentations so that they know what candidates stand for, and allow everyone from a kindergartner to, as I said, high schoolers make an informed decision in the mock election.
Who won the election?
The Marquette students were able to accurately predict the winner at the national level as well. The winner of the popular vote was Donald Trump, and he won the electoral vote as well at Marquette.
Who got the least amount of votes?
Well, a fourth grader wrote in dinosaurs, so I guess dinosaurs would have got the least amount of votes. But the percentages roughly went 56% for Trump, 21% for Clinton, 12% for Jill Stein, and 9% for Gary Johnson.
If you feel comfortable answering, how do you feel about the actual presidential results?
I believe that this is a very historic election, regardless of who would have ended up winning. And now I think it's on us, not only me as a teacher, but us as Americans, to use this opportunity to discuss the direction of our country, the ins and outs and the positives and negatives of the Electoral College, and also discuss where we're going moving forward with President-elect Trump.
Okay, well, Kelsey has one last question for you.
So I know this has been a bonus question on your past tests, but who is your favorite president and why?
My favorite president would have to be hands down Teddy Roosevelt. The why is one that is probably a loaded question. I'll say, just generally speaking, he's my favorite president because of his commitment to wildlife and nature conservation.
Well, thanks for letting us interview you, Mr. Hollinsby, and thanks for listening. For Marquette in Motion, this has been Brooklyn Moore
And Kelsey Gerlach
with Tell Us More.
Thanks for reporting, everyone.
And thank you for tuning in. For Marquette in Motion, this has been Miranda Peters
And Hallie Kilberg.
And remember, stay informed, stay involved, stay
In motion!